write what I write. I mean, I don't write what I
Don't
write.
Yeah.
No, but I'll tell you a story about it. I lost a brother at, he was 23, I was 30.
Mm-hmm.
He had a drug problem and he had an overdose. I tried to write about his life.
Okay.
Or I tried to write. Each time I kept hitting dead ends and I kept putting it away and putting it away, putting it away. And then one day I could write about it, and when I could write about it, it came out as a whole sort of chapbook. Now, for me, what that meant was facing my anger at him. You know, it was an old grief. And so once I found a comfortable way to be angry.
Yeah. Is that possible? Comfortable way to be angry? Yes, I understand that. You take in the totality of the situation, not just.
But it was, I started off with an angry, but then, because I guess I was ready to get beyond it, but I had to
go through it.
To have the anger there, and I think I wasn't ready, or I didn't know how. So, sometimes in their own time. I mean, literally, it was probably 25 years before I could.
25 years.
You never know.
Thank you.
You want to ask me a question, right?
Yes, I've been waiting for.
Okay.
All right, Jessica.
Okay.
No,
This is okay. I know
Owen knows
what
the question.
is.
Okay.
I asked the question and he said he would tell us all.
Because it's a somewhat funny story. So,
קרן, המיקרופון לא עובד.
המיקרופון לא עובד.
No?
עובד בסדר,
Okay.
עובד יופי.
Too loud?
No, it's
It's
fine.
not working.
עובד
what's
בסדר.
your
It's
name?
working. It is working.
Jessica.
The echo.
Jessica.
Jessica, yeah.
Asked me, what's my connection? I share with Guernsey. They have an international poetry prize. I entered it. I won. They flew me to Guernsey.
Really?
They put me up. It was a very lovely thing. The winner, or the judge of this was a very adamant feminist. Actually, the Scottish poet laureate was, or I don't remember, is. And in her introduction, so this was a contest where you couldn't write for more than, had to be less than 14 lines, a short poem. So I have a manuscript about what does it really mean to become a grandparent. It's actually called The Books of Noah. You've heard about Noah. But in this, I'm being handed Noah for the first time from my daughter, but then imagining her receiving a granddaughter down the road. Now in this, I'm sure I was channeling my own grandmother. I didn't identify myself, grandmother, it's just the I. So in her introductory comments, she says, there's always a surprise when you judge a contest. I was so surprised to see Owen Lewis is not a woman, because it's anonymous. Like, how could this be all these generations with, and what I understood, had I identified myself as I never would have won this. But because I was channeling my grandmother and sort of captured that energy, this appealed to her, and I won. So that's my Guernsey story.
Thank you.
You talked about anger.
Yes.
You talked about anger. No, it's okay. I can yell. And anger is allowed, and it's a way of freedom. Be angry, it's okay. Otherwise, you lock it in, you become something which is kind of it's like how a grimace becomes a smile. Be careful. Let the grimace her own great speech, because otherwise you'll be crammed. Because so many times, you know, I say, I sound angry. It's good, you know, because many times, you know, it's like what Owen says about anger. Yes, you're allowed to be angry.
Yeah, but it took me.
Okay.
But careful, the Western culture doesn't approve of anger.
Good.
Right?
You know why?
Please
Because-
go to your
It's
room.
not
No,
good for you.
No, it's not good.
No,
for
they
you.
say go to
time
your
out, or
room.
time out.
Yes, okay, in the States they say
Yeah.
time out.
Right,
No,
go to
it's-
your
it's-
room.
And in England they say, you know, that's
You
not
see,
nice. People don't want to see that.
Yeah,
Go.
I tell you why. Because,
Go to your room.
because it's frightening. Because it's disturbing the order. Because anger
Yeah.
is an expression that wants its power, its time to yell out. You know, Allen Ginsberg, howl.
Listen, yes,
okay?
but wait a minute, okay? That's all true. But look what happens when you tell anybody who feels anger to just let it out. And you get those protests in the United States and in England and all over Europe. And you can see these young people. In fact, most of the main people in these protests, they're really angry. They're so angry.
I understand it.
Good. So how
But
does a
you see the
society
thing,
function when
yeah.
everybody lets out their anger?
Well, it's a very good point because many times anger finds the wrong channels.
Yes.
Exactly.
You see, the thing is that the way I channel it into, that many times, you know, it's like reading the papers, being angry at Netanyahu. It's kind of
outlet.
it's an outlet for something much more complex. You know, it's like
Yes,
we can
yes.
talk about it. Let's be angry together because anger together, it's a good feeling. Not only that, you see demonstrations. You know.
That's why we go to demonstrations and protests, to
Yes,
get
but,
together.
but many times you see a protest can be, put it that way. When we talk about our protest, you know, against whatever happens, you know, with democracy, it's a clear issue. Against Israel, it's a multi things, you know, can connect between Gaza and Jesus. Easily,
Yes.
easily.
Yes.
But what I say, but you know, poetry many times, you know, the Turkish poet Nazim Hikmet,
Yeah.
of the 40s. Okay, I'm Turkish, so I have been.
It's not your fault.
Not only, to the contrary, you know, I'm so angry at it. You know, and he has a beautiful poem about Paul Robson, Sing.
About what?
Paul Robson, the singer. Paul
Paul Robson, okay.
Sing. Show them. Don't do. I mean, the thing is, Mayakovsky, this poems of total anger, which becomes, look, when you turn anger into an art,
Yeah.
there you are.
Yes.
That you are. It's not a, it's like many times.
No, but anger is. My only point was anger is also a dangerous thing.
Absolutely. But you see poetry, which is more dangerous,
Oh, poetry can be very dangerous.
because on the
But
verge.
in your case, I just wanted to say, because you know that you know better than I do that when you're mourning over somebody, part of it is anger when they perish, because it's a part of the process.
Yeah,
of-
but this
so-
was
Okay,
more
that's
than
a different-
average
he's speaking to
anger.
us like
You know,
that.
this was not.
But do you know why you got angry?
Yeah, I know why I was angry. I mean,
I think
He caused you pain.
not just me, but my parents. I mean, I was older enough to be able to distance, but you know, what my parents would try and get them on the right track and try and help them, and yeah, we stole a lot from the family.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
addicts too.
You see, but
That's
something,
what I would
but
say.
Owen showed last week a play of mine, Kafka. Kafka is so angry with his father that he crushed him. By the same notion, They understand you why you crush me because he disappointed you. So you have, he's locked. Yeah? He's locked in some of the way, only way to explode into a work of art. And many times,
Yeah.
for me, art, it's not how to tame anger. It's how to turn it into grace.
Yes, but I think,
Communicate.
I don't think we understand anger entirely,
I agree with you.
right? I think that anger isn't only,
It's tohu
it's tohu, and we give it a name. We say,
And you see, but even tohu it's in Hebrew. I don't know.
I know
if you-
tohu
I
from Genesis.
We talk about it because
Yeah.
tohu comes
Okay,
from
tohu-
the verb
tohu is
taha.
tohu.
Vohu comes from the verb baha. I can't explain the entity. I can relate to it by the way I react to it. Taha, tohu, vavu, inexplicable. And therefore it's so interesting.
okay,
Thank you all for the questions and the discussion. I think we will begin with some poems. I'm going to do this, I'm going to start because I stole Duffy's telephone. I don't have any poems, and I didn't have my poems, but I don't have a computer. So, this is a poem that Duffy will read in Hebrew, and I'll just read it in English, and then we'll go on. This is Housekeeping Under Fire. Housekeeping under fire. No need to wash the floor when there's a war. It just takes your mind off more crucial demands, like what you need to buy but must now forget. Vegetables rotting under fire, berries, olives waiting to be shaken from their tree. No need to wash the floor. When there's a war, you'll spill something that will drive you wild. For me, it was a can of gas, meant for the generator that might have kept the meat a few days more. Even a few lost drops of coffee can set me off now. No need to wash the floor when there's a war. The muck will return, if not from the bombs and the treads of boots dropping squares of filth from the field, dirt mixed with blood. Easy to clean, impossible to erase. Now I'm going to give Daffy her phone back. And she's going to read the poem in Hebrew.
ניקיון הבית תחת אש.
Wait, you want this?
No.
Thanks. You use it so well in demonstration.
לא צריך לשטוף רצפה כשמלחמה. זו הסחת דעת מדרישות חשובות יותר. כמו מה שאת צריכה לקנות אבל חייבת לשכוח. ירקות שנרכבים תחת אש, פירות יער, זיתים הממתינים להימסק מן העץ. לא צריך לשטוף רצפה כשמלחמה. את תשפכי משהו שישגע אותך. עבורי זו הייתה פחית של דלק בשביל הגנרטור, שיוכל לשמר את הבשר לעוד כמה ימים. מספיקות כמה טיפות קפה כדי להדליק אותי. לא צריך לשטוף רצפה כשמלחמה. הזוהמה תחזור. אם לא מטיל סורר, אז מעקבות הנעליים המשאירות קוביות של טינופת שדה הקרב. בוץ מעורבב בדם. קל לנקות, אי אפשר למחות.
Thank you, Duffy. I'm going to pass the microphone around first to Mike Stone, and then Ann.
Okay, can you hear me?
You can hear
Okay.
it.
The poem that I'll read is called Why Art? A long time ago, Bobby Burns begged the gods to give us the gift of seeing ourselves through another's eyes. Well, it rained gifts from the heavens, and it's still raining gifts to this day, with no let up in sight. Those gifts are the arts that allow us to see what artists see, books of stories and poetry to think what writers think, music to hear what singers and musicians hear, and dancers to show us what is possible to be or not to be. Without these gifts, you'd just be you, confined as in a prison.
Me? Yes.
Ah, okay.
We're going to, oh, I don't think do I need this? You can hear me?
Maybe for the tzilum.
All right. Okay. My name is Anne and I live in Ishtar, but I worked in Sfat for 31 years, actually 35 years. Okay. So this is a little snapshot from Sfat, and it's called The Night Baker, and it has a, what is this thing called? No, a quote, okay. No Torah without bread, no bread without Torah. En Torah b'li kemach, en kemach b'li Torah. It's from Pirkei Avot, and here we go. The Night Baker. The night baker makes his way down empty Safed streets. Winter, 2 a.m. Cold mist wafts over the slick road. All the stores are shuttered and knocked up tight. The only light in any building is in the upstairs window of the yeshiva near the square, where yeshiva bochers sway and argue over texts, steam rising from paper cups of coffee, fluorescent lights humming and battering at their brains. The night baker walks on. He has a mission, and his mission is bread. He arrives at the bakery, turns the key in the lock. The oven room is dank and grimy. The night baker turns on the ovens. The room begins to warm. Little rivulets of odor begin to crack the air. All-night radio murmurs in the corner. The night baker works till dawn, pouring, measuring, twisting dough. He looks up and nods at the first day shift girl as she knocks on the glass of the bakery door. It's time to go home. The night baker retraces his steps in the lightning day as the yeshiva bochers stagger out of the yeshiva doorway and move down the street to the bakery for fresh hot baked goods and a hot drink, and then home. In the end, everyone goes home, the bochers and the night baker too. Welcome to Safed. It's a new day. Morning fog glitters and gilds the quiet streets.
And now this is from a new book, Picnic of the Sufis.
Yeah. It has.
And it was a citation. I forgot that.
Before it just left my brain. This book has 3 different groups of poems that are one is generally speaking, one of them is about love, and the middle one is Your Roots Are Showing, which has Jewish stuff, Israeli stuff, political stuff, and war poems. And I was really afraid to put the war poems in this book because I knew that I'm very bitter and angry and upset and all kinds of things about what's going on in the country. And some of them are pretty fierce. And I knew that I would make enemies when people read these poems. To say that poems are not dangerous is not true. You can make desperate enemies from your work. You can inspire people to do desperate things. And still, I felt that I had to do it, so I did it. All right, so here it is.
You know in Iran they hang poems.
Huh?
In Iran they hang poems.
Yes, but also, poetry can inspire revolution. Absolutely.
That's right.
Can cause murder. John
Yes.
Lennon.
Yes.
Well, that was
It's
prose, technically.
It's not a poem,
not
but it's still
necessarily
literature.
benign at all.
Still literature.
That's
What
what
is
you
like a
said
poem?
before, that's the poet is the shots.
I never liked Catcher in the Rye. Never liked Catcher in the Rye.
You haven't?
Leads the
No,
way.
never did.
We had to.
Yeah, it's great.
No, I read it, but I never liked it.
Before we lose control here.
It's just
This is Mark.
Hi,
John
everybody.
Lennon, basically.
I'm Mark Livingston. Nobody's going to hang me for this poem. It's called The Fat Thread.
Fat thread?
Yes. My parents both subscribed to magazines. I'm not aware they ever bought a lone edition on the subway where the sun stopped at the staircase and the day ticked with the morning papers and then talked with the late edition. And behind those stacks, the racks of periodicals reflected every human interest, from pencil games to hunting dogs to quilts. It tickled me that commerce overflowed and colorfully into a domain that otherwise was nearly featureless, and January, February, March made fresh mosaics with their cover shots. Like a great hand puppet, a still-faced man presided from behind the newspapers, against the background of the magazines, within his wide, inviolable booth. When does he pee? I asked my father, who said, I don't know, let's ask him. Grabbed my wrist, ignored my panicky embarrassment, and might have followed through had not the train approached with an authoritative roar. We left behind perceptibility of speed and of location as we joined the fat thread through the bedrock where the stops were beads of brightness, their successive names incantatory on the walls of time. Surfacing, oh, I'm sorry, I jumped ahead. Surviving at some stations were machines with candy-coated squares of chewing gum, a penny for a pair in cellophane, notoriously unreliable. The street where we emerged, though known to me, was unadjoined by anywhere I'd been. Beneath its second-story window signs, a piano teacher, dental specialist, we headed for the drugstore. There they jerked us each a soda, and the mirror showed behind us Keely Smith and Charles de Gaulle on covers of the very magazines I'd seen below, as if we'd slyly made appointments down behind the subway track. Thank you. Who's next?
Very nice. I think we're going around. You may pass it on to,
Okay, I try to find a short and optimistic poem. It was translated from the Hebrew by Oded Pellet, the translator of Allen Ginsberg and Walt Whitman, amongst others. And Duffy will read it. It's from my first book of poems some 30 years ago, I think. It was a younger Rafi wrote it.
Nocturnal ride. And someone pedals slowly in the dark, crosses crisp air of early summer. Around him a charged night. On the way to love or from it, a man on bicycle, living the moment in generous abundance. The city is open before him. The streets cool down, darken, and he, keeping a rhythmic breath, pushing the pedals forward. He is perfectly stubborn, rarely balanced, as if the big world beneath him carried a promise that there is a place to reach, that a purpose still exists before the street corners brighten up.
I don't have one. Helen had one.
Hello, I'm Ellen. The wind. I sealed my window with a rubber sash, and still the wind howls as I sit by my desk, the bright winter sun reflecting in the windows across the way in our U-shaped house. the center green, which will flower in spring. It is quiet in the yard below this Friday morning, and it's quiet at our northern border where a ceasefire has held mostly, as we await the peace talks that will color our future. And still the wind howls, having traveled from the northmost shore, sweeping at the ocean's brink, cajoling with the whiteness of the surf, till it comes to vibrate at my window, to remind me that the world is not with us of late, that the other hears another wind that rattles to another tune.
You can't do, you know, I'm actually legally blind, you shouldn't do that. It's true. I'm in very good company here, so I'm going to do my best. I wrote about the recent, the recent return of live and non-alive hostages. The return. A tsunami of emotion thunders through the public body. They're back from hell, here with their loved ones, to hearth and home and warm embrace. To the road ahead, striving to efface the utter evil, the pain, the monstrous disdain, to unlock the vault of unfathomable sorrow and repair the soul for a better tomorrow. Now, this one, I speak in the voice of one of the dead. We are with you. Know this, O loved ones, know this. We no longer feel the pain. Though we endured the very worst, though our bodies lie 'neath rubble, we do not hunger, we do not thirst. Know this, O loved ones, know this. Our spirits live within you. Remember what we were to you, and give our love to all. Our suffering has ended. Do not let your spirits fall.
Good message for I want to thank you all for sharing, for asking, and I want to thank you especially, Owen, for inspiring. And I think it's too bad that you're going back to the States now this week, because we could invite you back in a couple of weeks with new poems.
February, I'll be back.
February, okay. And so thank you all. Very, very much.
Thank you, Karen.
Yes.
For having us here and for giving us the opportunity.
Ezzy.
Of course.
When you thank me, it's because of him.
That.
Thank you.
And if, I have a couple of review copies of the book. If anyone even has a remote idea they might want to write something, you know, I have them from my publisher. I can give you. You have.
I know, worth it.
You need none?
No.
Okay. And you can always get to Owen through me, through Mike, and through Owen. I'm sure you.
Right. No,
You have
my
an
email.
email.
Oh, where's Victoria?
She.
She's tired.
She had a birthday party today for the whole family. She worked in the morning. Rehearsals tomorrow.
Extraordinary violence. Extraordinary.
Rehearsal.
Yeah.
Oh, she's in the Israeli Symphony Orchestra.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Rishon LeZion.
Get up.
Please, help me out. Yes. If you're fasting,
עד אל אנדו.
כשהוא היה טוב, הוא היה טוב, לא תמיד היה שוק.
Jackie, I forgot you.
אתה פתאום תקשיב, תשווה אותו לאמסלם.
לא, לא.
Oh, אז מה הייתה?
חנה
But I mean, it's all